What's up, everybody? Professor Russell Chris Wild here with an instant reaction to today's loss against the New England Patriots. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes to see if anybody joins the chat here, starts watching. I'll tell you what, I am annoyed. I'm absolutely 150% annoyed at this loss. And basically because there's no reason why it shouldn't have been a win to me. And again, I'll wait for some people to join up here, and I would love to hear from other Eagles fans because hopefully you guys are as annoyed as I am at this point. Wow, I mean, what an annoying game. What an absolute annoying game. And for me, it started at home because my kids were acting outrageously throughout the whole thing. So it was hard to actually concentrate on everything, but wow. So let me just start with the ranting. First off, you go into the game, and it was like a gut punch. I kind of had a feeling it was going to happen anyway, but it was a gut punch that Jordan Howard was not going to be involved in the game, which is like, I've done a video earlier in the week talking about in order for the Eagles were in a good spot to win because the Baltimore Ravens, they ran Mark Ingram, Gus Bradley throughout the game. Lamar Jackson had his plays, and we were in a good spot with Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders, who's looking better each week. I said, and I thought Alshon would redeem himself. Well, obviously, we knew kind of early in the week that Alshon wasn't going to play, so that wasn't a big deal. And I was kind of like looking forward to seeing what maybe J.J. Arcega-Whiteside had to offer because he is faster than Alshon Jeffrey, kind of the same receiver, but faster than him either way. And then, the past couple days hearing about this Jordan Howard injury, I still thought maybe it was a mask, like by the Eagles, to try to fool the New England Patriots and that he was still going to play. And then you see him on the sidelines wearing street clothes, and he didn't play today. So you go into this game with Boston Scott, who sucks. Let's be honest, he's horrible. One of my least favorite running backs in Eagles history. I'd rather have Wendell Smallwood over Boston Scott. And that says a lot because I absolutely hate Wendell Smallwood. I'd rather have anybody than Boston Scott back there. J.J. didn't have one snap. Didn't see one snap. Not one touch in this game. And obviously I understand that because you just signed J.J. a couple days ago. He hasn't even practiced with the team, so I get it. But not even one rush. Not even as a decoy to this New England Patriots defense. He's not in there. And then Miles Sanders, who I like the guy. I think he's going to be a great player, but just didn't have an impact on today's game. And most of the time, I think you saw the medical tent for a portion of the game. But it seemed like Boston Scott was getting more carries than Miles Sanders. I don't have any numbers in front of me. I don't have anything in front of me, obviously. But the fact that I saw more Boston Scott than Miles Sanders is just insane. There is no ground and pound, what the Eagles were going to have to do to win. There was none. It was just a very predictable offense. And then let's talk about Carson Wentz. I'm a Carson Wentz guy. I am a Carson Wentz guy, and I really was hoping that no matter what, that after today's game, that I could say, look, Carson did everything that he could to win this game. Carson Wentz played like shit today. I'm just going to tell you, he played like crap. There were guys, and I understand, it was windy as hell. There were guys that were wide open. Matt Collins, for the first time in his career probably, is wide open early in the game. You don't hit him. That last drive, there were several wide receivers or tight ends open that he did not hit. It's just, he just did not come through when he had to. He just didn't. We look at guys that are clutch quarterbacks, and I've said that Carson Wentz is a clutch guy, but just did not prove it today. And yeah, that last play when they zero blitz in on him, and he throws it to Nelson Aguilar in the end zone. And of course, what does Nelson do? Nelson does what Nelson Aguilar always does in big, big situations. He drops the football. After making a big play earlier in the game, he drops this one. Just like in the end zone. Not a surprise. It wasn't like it's not a surprise to me. Okay? What was a surprise to me, and look, I'm going to rant and rave, but this is a good rant to a point, is that the Eagles' defense held their own, man. They really did, except for that one drive after the half when New England scored that touchdown to go up. They really held their own when their offense was not giving them anything. Nothing. The offense wasn't giving them any help. These are guys going out there tired, worn out, whatever. The Eagles' defense played to win today, letting up 17 points to the New England Patriots when, the offense, they scored, in the first quarter and score a sense. Coming into the third quarter, I think they only had 40 yards of total offense. So this is a defense that was out there a lot, and they really played a good game, I thought. The only thing that I can say about them is, look, when the ball's in your hands as a DB, you need to catch those interceptions because Tom Brady had like 3 interceptions today that the Eagles just could not haul in. So, but yeah, 17-10 is the final score. I was prepared for anything today. I was prepared for Eagles win. I was prepared for like a blowout loss. Um, but just to be annoyed as I am right now, I didn't think I'd be like that because the game was in the Eagles' hands, man. It really was, and they let up. And I understand a lot of people are probably watching the post game shows right now and things of that nature. I just don't. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm exhausted to listening to people talking about this game because it's. I'm going to tell you, it's. They had it in front of them. They really all they needed were a couple of good drives by this Eagles offense. It's all they needed, and I feel like I want to blame a lot of this on Doug Peterson, and I think that Doug gets a lot of unnecessary blame a lot of the time. Um, but this game, how do you not find a way to get Miles Sanders more involved? I mean, how do you abandon the screen passes that were working for you for the past 2 weeks against good defenses? I mean, would we see like one screen? We saw a couple wide receiver screens in the game, or well, not wide receiver screens, tight end screens. I think you saw one wide receiver screen with Aguilar, but they just gave up on the second half on the screen pass. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. And let's talk about for a minute, like, can the Eagles go a week? Can they go? I mean, at this point, an hour during a game without an injury, you lose Lane Johnson, all pro, probably the best offensive lineman that you have. You lose him in the first quarter to a concussion. It's to me, and Vaitai was getting his ass whooped. To me, it's like is it bad luck? I mean, what is it? Because you go without Lane Johnson, without Jordan Howard, without Alshon Jeffrey. I mean, what the hell? What other team can play? What team can win like this? Mike Groh, I don't know. You know what, Carl Ray, thanks for joining. I don't know if it's that Mike Groh is terrible or is he just not doing anything. I mean, what's his role? Does anybody know what Mike Groh's role is in this offense? Because we knew Frank Reich was helping. We knew that it goes through Doug Peterson. The offense goes through Doug. The other guys contribute. Is Mike Groh contributing at all? Like what is going on? Because I'm watching 3 and outs for like an hour and a half from this Eagle offense with no adjustments. None. I mean, we saw like a funny little trickery kind of play where Jason Kelsey was lined up like early in the third quarter. But other than that, I mean, there was no trick plays. There was no creativity at all. I expected Doug to put together some kind of creative game plan against his team. Nothing. Boston Scott running the ball? Are you kidding me? Boston Scott? Just horrible. He fumbles a kickoff, and then what happens after that? The Eagles get the ball. The first play is tipped back to him. I mean, it's like, I just don't get it. And what annoys me, look, man, if the Eagles went out there and they just completely got their ass kicked by the Patriots, and it was a 35-17 type game, if it was a Minnesota Vikings type game, if it was a Dallas Cowboys type game, you know what, whatever. Then it's, look, we're facing the 8-1 Patriots. But this was a 17-10 game. Besides really 1 or 2 drives by the Patriots, they didn't do anything on offense. Tom Brady looked like shit. He had never had more incompletions than he had in today's game. I mean, it was right there. It was right there. And all the offense had to do was have more than a couple good drives, and they just couldn't do it. And I'm telling you right now, the Patriots defense isn't that great. It really isn't. The Ravens laid the blueprint out on how to beat the Patriots, and the Eagles didn't capitalize on it. Now, is that because Jordan Howard was out? I'm sure. I'm sure. But come on, man. Boston Scott should not have touched the ball as much as he had. Carson, and I'm a Carson Wentz guy, and anyone that follows me and watches my videos knows that I love Carson Wentz. I think he's going to be an elite quarterback. And the fact that he doesn't have any wide receivers that he can trust to catch the ball hurts. But there were some plays where he just kind of overthrew or didn't get the ball to these guys. I mean, and look, how much of that does it have to do with Lane Johnson being out of the game? There could be a lot there. because it seemed like once he left the game, the entire the entire offensive line looked different. And while I'm bringing up the offensive line, I love Jason Peters, the player. He's a Hall of Famer, one of the best left tackles ever to suit up, one of the best Eagles to ever suit up. The bodyguard will always hold a special place in my heart. However, today was not the day, I think, to reintroduce him into this lineup. Andre Dillard has been playing really good football. And you pull him out, you put Peters in. Earlier in the game, Peters had a couple of bad penalties that just set the Eagles back a little bit. He got hurt later on in the game. I mean, look, man, again, when he's healthy, you got to put him in. But please, it just seemed like a bad time to put him back in the game. Let's talk to a couple people here. Carl Ray says, I'm disappointed in Howie. He knows we need wide receivers. Yeah, he really dropped the ball on that. I've talked about that over and over again. Philly Mike, what's going on, man? Philly Mike says, we played bad as a team on offense, and Wentz is our guy, but he missed some throws. Maybe he felt the pressure and knows our wide receivers are trash, but we played bad on the offense. Absolutely. I mean, I think the whole offense takes the blame, you know, and a lot of the times I go, look, Carson doesn't have anybody to throw to, so what do we expect from him? And there was times in the broadcast, and even Tony Romo was like, Carson's back there, nobody's open. I mean, and Romo said that 3 or 4 or 5 times during the broadcast. Wentz is back, there's nobody to throw to, nobody is open. And, you know, Romo being a quarterback, I'm sure, said that so that everybody can, because we were thinking, look, Carson's holding on this ball way too long. And Romo kind of said, like, look, there's nobody open. Like, there's nothing for this guy to do. And I heard earlier in the week people on sports radio say, oh, well, you know, you got to let the wide receivers make a play. You throw the ball, then they're out of their route. No. Like, if these guys aren't open and they're not creating any separation, no quarterback in this universe is just going to throw the ball to them and hope that they might catch the ball. It's just not going to happen. So a lot of that is on the fact that the wide receivers are garbage, and there may be a couple plays when you look at it and you go, okay, Carson Wentz just held the ball too long. I think 5 or 6 sacks on the guy. Vaitai is horrible at right tackle. You know, I started to think, like, could they just put Dillard at right tackle and Peters at left? I mean, obviously, apparently that wasn't in the cards because they would have done that. But it definitely seemed like when Lane went out, things just changed from an offensive standpoint for this team. The fact that they did not run the ball successfully just kills me. I really believe that if Jordan Howard had played and had a role in this game, I think things would have been different. Again, it's 17-10. We're not talking about a blowout victory for the Patriots, and that I think is what kills me, man. It just annoys me that the game was there for the Eagles. It really was, and this defense, for the first time, I think, all year, against a great quarterback, played fantastically. Again, the only thing I could say, when you have the ball in your hands, DBs, you got to catch it. You got to. I don't know, man. What does everybody else think? I mean, I'm just annoyed by this loss. I'm not, like, exactly as pissed as I normally would be after an Eagles loss. You know, my dad was here, and he's like, well, you didn't expect the Eagles to win against the Patriots with, like, who they had lost. But yeah, when you're up 10-0 and you're playing pretty decent football and your defense is actually playing good, yeah, I expect you to win. I don't expect the whole rest of the game the Eagles have to even score 1 point. It's just really crazy to me. I don't know. And these injuries, something's got to be said about these injuries. I mean, I don't know. How do you blame the Eagles medical staff? Because I just don't know that much. But look at the injuries the past 3 years. I mean, if there was an award for, like, the most injuries, the Eagles would win every year. They have the most injuries to, like, impact players that I've ever seen. Lane Johnson goes out. Are you kidding me? The Jordan Howard thing, like I said, it was like a gut punch. Like, here we finally have figured out who we are as an offense. And now this stinger that happened in the Chicago Bears game, we have a bye and he still can't get cleared? What is going on? I mean, just imagine the Cowboys playing the Patriots without Ezekiel Elliott, without Amari Cooper, and without Tyron Smith. What happens? Any team. You pull out any team. You lose all those guys. And I'm not even counting Deshaun Jackson, who's out. It's just, I don't know. It's just really, and again, I can understand why Jay doesn't play. I can understand why Jay is not in there, but it's horribly annoying. It really is. And I've already seen people going, well, you should be happy. Like, it was a close game. They kept it close. I'm not happy at all. Jose Ramirez, what's going on, man? I don't understand why we couldn't run a goddamn screenplay. I'm saying the same thing. A screenplay, a wheel route, like that's what they've done good the past couple weeks. The screens, and even in the first quarter, you saw tight end screens to Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz that worked. Nelson Aguilar had a wide receiver screen that got like 8 yards. Why are you not? I'm the same way. Why are you not throwing a screen to Sanders or even Boston Scott? Why? Why are you not throwing J.J. in there as a blocker or a decoy? Something to just mix shit up. And again, is this Mike Groh? Is this his fault? Is it Doug Peterson? I mean, what do you do? When you go into halftime, look, and a lot of people don't understand, like we're sitting around during halftime, like not doing shit. Like if we're at home, like we're just whatever, watching highlights or eating food or whatever. These guys in the locker room don't really have a lot of time to like go over new games plans or whatever like that. But how you cannot like, how can Doug not go? Okay, it's time to like now here's our plan, but here's our plan B that we're gonna throw into action. Like, how do you not like? It's just insane. It's just I don't know. I feel like there's so many guys I want to yell at. Like number one is like Carson Wentz, and I'm not a guy to yell at this dude. I'm a huge fan of the guy, but man, he missed a lot of receivers or tight ends today. That last drive was just horrible. So here we are. We are now at 5-5. Luckily, the Carolina Panthers lost today. The Minnesota Vikings should have lost, but the Broncos are garbage and let them come back. But the Panthers losing is a big deal. I think obviously you're going to want to root against the Rams because I don't think we're going to get a wild card, obviously, but we've got to win this division. So the Cowboys beat a Lions team with Jose Cuervo in as quarterback. I mean, because I don't know. Driscoll is that his name? I don't know. The Cowboys don't get a healthy Lions team. They get that. So and then I think they play the Patriots next week, which I'm not impressed with the Patriots. I'm not impressed at all. Because as much as we had go wrong, as many people as we had injured, we still could have took the damn game. Jose Maris says we completely abandoned the run game. Yep, sure did. Sure did. Doug or Mike Groh or whoever decided that it wasn't a good idea to run the ball. And if we were going to run the ball, we're going to give it to the guy that has no success, and that's Boston Scott. I don't get it. Randy, what's up? It's just so depressing. I'm not even... The thing is, I'm not depressed about it. I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed. It's annoying. Because it shouldn't have. I mean, I feel like they lost 35-10, and it was only 17-10. That's what's annoying. And here we are. We're all here. We're fans. We're I don't know about other people watching, but I mean, I've never had a job in football. But it feels like it's so simple to just look at. However, apparently it's not because the guys that are getting paid millions to do this stuff are not doing it. I don't understand what they're thinking. Giving Boston Scott the ball to run so many times over Miles Sanders is just nuts to me. And I understand Miles Sanders went to the tent for an injury or something. I don't know. But he did play after that, and again, they just abandoned any kind of, he was like not a part of the game plan at all. And all I heard all week was, well, Bill Belichick's going to take Zach Ertz out of the game plan. No, Zach Ertz had his catches, but Zach does what Zach does, and He gets no yards after the carry, after the catch. So, Jose Ramirez said it's crazy how you saw the Patriots talking, doing adjustments while the game was going on. You don't see any of that on the Eagles side. Yeah, again, you saw Bill Belichick over there, like, yelling at his defense, like, and then on the Eagle, and maybe it could be the Fox broadcast or CBS. They're kind of on the Patriots' jock as most of the NFL is. They just didn't want to show the Eagles doing that, but I did see Carson talking to guys like trying to tell them where to be. I did see that, but yeah, as far as game planning or whatever, they just didn't show the Eagles coaches like talking to anybody from the offense or defense on how to adjust. And again, that could just be the broadcast because they're enamored with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, whatever. But again, and again, I'm gonna say like I give this defense like an A. I just give them an A because the Patriots had three straight like field goals that could have been touchdowns after a horrible Wentz fumble. Like I'm looking at that and I'm like, I'm texting my boy Adam Payton and I'm going, dude, that's the game because the Patriots are gonna score, getting ready to score right now, and the defense held them. So I've got to give the defense a solid A, maybe a B plus because they didn't catch the interceptions that were thrown their way. Eagles Clips, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here. He says Nelson Aguilar needs to learn how to catch. Facts, 100%. I don't like. It's crazy to me that this guy does not want to be like he. That's the second catch where he could have been a hero. Could have been a hero in Philly, and it's. I don't know. The ball was right there. It's in his grasp, and he drops it. The second, and obviously not a game winner, possibly a game tying touchdown catch that he doesn't come up with. I mean, what more? And Carson put that ball like exactly where it needed to be. Like, come on, dude, come on. You think about he's a free agent after this year. Think about the money you could make if you caught the ball in Atlanta. You could catch the ball here. I wish I was in the position that he's in. Jose Ramirez says no, he needs to get released. That's enough of his ass. Again, I agree. Cut that dude. If you cut him tomorrow, I will not, and I guarantee you the city of Philadelphia will not bat an eyelash. Okay, get rid of Nelson Aguilar. I'm done with him. I'm done with him. Greg Ward Jr. Promote him from the practice squad. I mean, I don't know, but Nelson is not. He is not it right now. You let Josh Gordon go to the Seahawks, who we'll see next week. And this is the game the Eagles had to win because they're not. The Seahawks are one of the best teams in the league with a mobile quarterback who we cannot. Our defense is not like mobile quarterbacks at all. So good luck defending that next week. Jose Ramirez says if we don't pick up a solid wideout this year, I don't know how we're going to win games. And then Eagles Clip saying I'm going to be so happy when his contract is over. Yeah, I agree. And you know what? The way that this front office is, I'm not confident that they're going to find a wide receiver that can catch footballs, man. What are they going to do? Draft them? Because they had their pick this year. You have DK Metcalf sitting right. You could have. You look. Here's how round one could have went. Andre Dillard. We all agree. Good pick. Miles Sanders. We all agree. Good pick. After that, you could have had DK Metcalf. Can you imagine your first three picks? Andre Dillard, Miles Sanders, and DK Metcalf? And the reason why these guys didn't draft Metcalf was because they said he didn't know how to read defenses or couldn't read an offense or some bullshit like that. Meanwhile, this guy is a freak of nature. Like if you ever see this guy with his shirt off, he's just a freak. Dallas going to beat us to the playoffs. Okay, so here's the thing: we're not going to get the wild card. I mean, I just don't. It's like a monumental shift would have to happen for us to get the wild card. We've got to win this division. And Dallas could beat us by winning the division. And I only say that because, they've got a tougher schedule than us, but some of the teams they got to play just aren't as tough as, you'd have thought. Like, the Rams. Like, what are the Rams? Like, everybody's beating the Rams this year. We've definitely got to beat Dallas, and we've got to just beat the rest of the teams on our schedule. The end of our schedule is cake, and we've got to find a way to beat Seattle now. Because we couldn't put this one away. Sucks. It's annoying. And if any of you out there in YouTube world are as annoyed as I am, man, just let's talk about it. I'm annoyed that we lost 17-10. I would have rather have lost 47-24. Because at least I know, okay, our guys aren't that great this year, but when you've got that many, maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. Maybe I should be happy. Because we've got no Alshon, no Jordan Howard, no Lane Johnson. And we still were only lost to the great New England Patriots by a frigging touchdown. Maybe that's a different way to look at it. But I look at it as it was right there in our house, dude. In Philly. We should have had that game. I'm going to do another reaction video probably tomorrow. D. Graham, yeah, we do need a new offensive coordinator. The thing with the way that this offense is built, I don't know how much of it is going through Doug. Like Mike Rowe, I don't know exactly what he does. If you remember a couple weeks ago against the Bills, Miles Sanders had that big 65-yard run, and they said that play was designed by Jeff Stoutland, who's the offensive line coach. So I just really don't know what the hell Mike Rowe does, what the offensive coordinator on this team does. Detroit Trap Music says Aguilar dropped the ball because he doesn't know how to put himself in a better position. Agreed, 100%. Nelson Aguilar is horrible at tracking these balls. He really is. There's a couple balls throughout the past couple weeks that you can tell he just does not know how to track a deep ball. And he's a $9 million. He's making $9 million to play this spot. It's insane. D. Graham says lack of play calling creativity. Yeah, name a play besides the play that where Kelsey was lined up as a wide receiver that was creative. Nothing. After the second half, Bill Belichick knew exactly what the hell Doug Peterson was going to call. I mean, point blank. You know what I mean? And again, I can blame Carson for the bad throws, but when you got Tony Romo on commentary, showing the instant replay and going, there's nobody for this guy to throw to. Where do you throw the ball? Nobody's open. That says something. Because you got Jordan Matthews as your number one. How many catches do the Eagles wide receivers have today? Does anybody know? Because to me, I can't. Aguilar had a couple. What, did Jordan Matthews catch a pass? Of course, Arcega-Whiteside had that one catch that was huge at the end of the game, but that was more of Carson just it was a scramble drill. I mean, Holland, God, Holland still hasn't had a catch since September. It's laughable. Yeah, Tony did. And look, I hated Tony as a Cowboy. But he knows what the hell he's talking about as a commentator, man. And he pretty much called it. The Eagles' wide receivers are just horrible. So I don't know how to fix this. I really don't. Next week, does Alshon come back? If he does, is he playing on one leg? Does Jordan Howard play? If it's a stinger, you're thinking he should be clear for contact by next week. But we're playing the damn Seattle Seahawks, who I think are just one of the better teams in the league. Better than New England. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. To be honest, I was to the point, I was so annoyed where I wasn't going to do this live stream. I was just this team is just absolutely pulled me from the absolute pleasure of going, yeah, they're up 10-0. This is going to be a good day, to despair of wow. They couldn't do anything after being up 10-0. Greg, Jose, we need to upgrade that dude Ward. You do great in the preseason. Greg Ward Jr., I agree. If you promote him, what's there to lose at this point? Because the other guys aren't doing anything. So what's there to lose? I just don't want to feel like I'm in I mean, what's the guy's name that in 2016? Turner. Last name was Turner. That everybody just kept like screaming for to play, and eventually did. He didn't do anything. I don't want to get that desperate, but D. Graham says we need to draft 2 wide receivers. Bro, I agree, but I just don't trust these guys to draft 2 good wide receivers. That's the problem. Like I said, you had DK Metcalf right there. Think about all the rookie wide receivers that are doing good stuff for teams. Look at this guy Slayton for the Giants. I mean, I watched the game where he had like 2 touchdowns. The guy McLaurin for the Redskins, he's playing well. We got J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who's barely seeing the field and has like 3 catches. I don't know. Are we wasting Carson Wentz's like the prime time of his career? I feel like he's Russell Wilson. How Russell Wilson was a couple years ago, where Russell didn't have anything on offense. I mean, nothing. He didn't have anything after Golden Tate left and after all that. Like there was nobody for him to throw the ball to, and they didn't even really have a run game. That's kind of how I feel Carson Wentz is right now, which is a shame. But something's got to happen. We're already past the trade deadline. There's nobody else for the Eagles to pick up. I think Alshon definitely would have helped in this game. And Jordan Howard. When you lose him, there's your run game. Like I said, Miles Sanders goes out for a little bit, so now you lose your entire backfield. You sign Jay Ajayi just to not do anything in this game. It's just an annoying day for Eagle fans. It really is. That's how I feel. But I've talked for half an hour straight on this shit, so. Eagles Clip says we need to let Carson Wentz run more. I text my buddy Adam Payton about this. Why not more design runs for Carson Wentz? Again, creativity. Look, Lamar Jackson is who Lamar Jackson is. He's basically Michael Vick. So, of course, he's going to run the ball. But he destroyed the Patriots with his runs. Why not design some runs for Wentz? They didn't do any of that. You know you have nobody that can catch the ball. Design some runs for Carson. Because his defense can't handle that shit. Jose said, oh, no fly zone. I'm sorry. Says the offensive sucks. I agree with you 100%, 110%. Jose Ramirez says, I think we need Carson to create a little more with his legs. Like in 2017. Again, I agree. However, in 2017, he had Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith on the outside. And Torrey Smith was somebody that defenses respected. That's the thing. How effective was Torrey Smith? He wasn't the best. But defenses had to respect the guy. There's nobody on the other side, and today, without Alshon, nobody on either side that the defense has to respect. Nobody. So, D. Graham says Greg Ward is probably better than Nelson. Boston Scott is trash. Agree. And Wentz needs to run more for sure. Yes, I agree. But like I said, like 2017, man, he had guys that defenses had to kind of respect his threats. And if Deshaun did get hurt the second game, we would have had that. Can you imagine? No fly zone. Just had to smash 2 dozen eggs on my head because of it. Look, I wish I had 2 dozen eggs to smash on my head right now because that's how I feel. It's just annoyed. So what do we do the rest of the year? Well, obviously we got to beat the Seahawks next week. How do we do that? Not without Jordan Howard and not without Alshon Jeffrey. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. But I'll hold out hope because I'm an Eagles fan. I bleed green, and I always will. And I just hope that I'm going to be in December 9th, the Monday night game against the New York Giants, and I just hope that we still have something to play for at that time. But look, I've been talking for like 35 minutes straight. I'm wore out. This game oh God, just such an annoying game. Absolutely annoyed. I should have titled this video "Annoyed" because that's what I am right now. But it helps talking to you guys. Man, I could just imagine how the people in the stadium are feeling right now. God, I hate to look at my phone and my Twitter feed because we're going to see a lot of bullshit. We're going to see a lot this coming week, and a lot of it is probably going to be directed at Carson Wentz. And I'm going to tell you right now, did the guy play his best game? No, absolutely not. Did he miss some throws? Yes, absolutely. But when you've got what he's got to work with, what are you going to do? I mean, Tom Brady had like 14 incompletions today, maybe more. So let me. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. I want to thank everybody for joining. I will be doing some more live streams throughout the week. And also, I'll be putting up a kind of little mini review, mini rant video also probably tomorrow or the day after. It's been a really long week for me. I was in Philly the past couple days with some wrestling stuff. Um, and then I came back home, and then dealing with this game has just got me wore out. But real quick, Eagles Clip says, we did so good in the first quarter, what happened? We played so good in the first quarter, what happened? Lane Johnson went out, and the offensive line just crumbled. That's what happened. Uh, I think if he's in there, it definitely makes a difference for the rest of the game. But that is absolutely what happened after the first quarter. So again, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get something to eat, and maybe I'll watch Super Bowl 52 to help my mood out a little bit. But thanks for watching, guys. Everybody have a great night. Go Birds.